Just start on what we heard from Fitch, this warning of course, this potential credit rating that's a negative watch now, and what could happen here if these debt, discussions really don't yield anything. Is this 2011 kind of a deja vu moment once again?
We have to see. I mean, they are running out of time, no doubt about it, to get a deal agreed so that they have time to vote on it. The conservative House Republicans insisted that on any big vote of any kind on policy, Kevin McCarthy, the House Majority Leader, would have to allow them to look over the proposed legislation for 3 days. Now, even the House Republicans who are on this kind of pushing for the debt reduction, et cetera, the spending reduction, et cetera, would realize that maybe you don't need or want to take 3 days. At any rate, it's interesting that this is a negative watch, and we'll tell you exactly what they're saying. It reflects increased political partisanship, hindering reaching a resolution to raise or suspend the debt limit despite the fast approaching X date. Isn't that interesting? Because people have talked so much about polarized politics in the U.S. Things can't get done. Parties seem to pit themselves against each other more than try to get that center position, right? Well, earlier we spoke to Rob Kaplan, former president of the Dallas Fed, and we were talking about the Fed minutes that just came out and what he expects in terms of the next June meeting. And as we were speaking to Rob, the news flashed about this credit rating watch cut, maybe the cut by Fitch because of the debt limit. And here's what he said. Here's how he responded.
I think what's going on with Fitch speaks to the fact that default should be off the table. But we do need a real discussion because we're going to have problems down the road if we don't get fiscal discipline.
And of course, Janet Yellen keeps warning that the date of actually running out is sometime around or after June 1st. She has said many times there'll be tax revenues coming in between June 1st and June 15th, but tax revenues may not get in there quickly enough, and so by June 15th, in between there, in that span of time, that's the point where the U.S. may not be able to pay all of its bills, and it's going to have to make choices. The common expectation is that they would keep paying the interest on Treasury debt because we want to maintain the confidence in Treasury bonds, their credit rating, and that's so important. You might have to slow down some Social Security payments. It's happened in the past. It could happen again. But I think Rob Kaplan has a very good point that there needs to be something done. There needs to be more an agreement on this between the two parties. And with any luck, there'll be a handful of Democrats maybe that will team up with some Republicans, and that's how it will finally get passed. For now, I think we're much more in the dark about what's truly dividing them, what the details are, what's going to make making them sign on this dotted line to get this thing passed or not. Tomorrow's Friday. Presumably the teams will work over the weekend, but by Monday it's a holiday, and by Wednesday or Thursday we're at June 1st. So that the clock may not just be ticking; it may start exploding.